Hello and welcome back to today's episode of the What is K-pop podcast, during which I talk about groups, members, discographies, choreographies, outfits, survival shows, dynamics, basically anything that I really want to talk about actually in regards to K-pop and, hopefully eventually answering the question of what is K-pop, I guess. One day, hopefully. Today's episode is about a 2022 survival show created by IST Entertainment in association with Kakao Entertainment and Sony Music Entertainment Japan called the Origin ATBO or What. It aired on MBN, Kakao TV, and the K YouTube channel from the 19th of March to the 7th of May 2022, in which the show announced the 7 debuting members of what was originally called ATBO. However, due to I don't know too much about this, so I can't really comment on the specifics of the case. However, all I do know is that it is that those 3 letters are often used in a derogatory way towards see, I don't even know myself. I really should. Let's just search up, do their research. ATBO original name. Alright. Okay, so I'm actually on the Wikipedia page for the actual group. ATBO is an initial of at the beginning of originality, which means the start of a dream. The name originally was ATBO, but was changed due to fans' concern as the original name is a racial slur in some regions. Yes, I do remember that. I actually remember that all happening, and I remember the issue with one of the contestants and one of the winners, and then them being changed to a different contestant. I remember all of that kind of going down. I did follow the group, not the group, but the show a little bit after it had ended, and obviously I do like the group in general because I kind of I like the parent, not the parent groups, but the sister. Why was there a squeak just then? I've not sat on a cat. Yeah, the cats can probably get in. I don't even know what that was. But yeah, no, I was aware of the show because Victon and the boys, as well as A-Pink and Weekly, are signed under IST as well, or at least they're managed by IST. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna see what all of this is about. This sounds interesting. So I was kind of vaguely aware of what was going on. But yeah, that was what I did originally. I don't even know how to go on with sentences sometimes. So the premiere of the show was actually meant to be a little bit earlier. It was meant to be on the 26th of February. However, some of the trainees actually tested positive for the virus, so it was pushed back until March 19th or the 19th of March. But to be fair, that doesn't really have much bearing on the story, because to be fair, none of the contestants left, because the thing with survival shows within a company is that there are there's less contestants, because less trainees would be a part of the show, because they want to kind of see in terms of their own company what is the best talent, I guess. So there is only 13 contestants. Thank God I don't have to speak so many Korean names and get them absolutely wrong. Yeah. So, the judges of the show were JB, Minji, Sung Kyu, who was he's a part of Infinite. He's the leader of Infinite. Kwak Yoon Young and Hwang Kyu Hong. And the guests were the boys in episode 3, Jay Park in episodes 6 and 7, along with A Pink's Bomi and Ha Young and Victor's Sejun and Subin. And the contestants were going from bottom to the first contestant eliminated to the members of ATBO were Kang Dae-hyun, Wonbin, Park Jae-hoon, Kim Mi-so, Jung Jun-ho, Choi Jin-wook, Kim Yong-kyu, Yang Jung-hwa, Bae Hyun-jin, Ryu Ju-min, Seok Rak-woon, Oh Jun-suk, and Jeong Seung-hwan. The last I can't count, 7 names were members of ATBO. The 3 next were eliminated in the final episode, then the survival balance, and then the PR balance. And I can actually talk a little bit about the contestants. I don't know why I'm so out of breath. Sometimes it just happens, Like, I actually had the virus twice and my breathing has never really been the same. Sometimes it's just like questionable. And actually sometimes like I just don't have a sense of smell or taste, which is probably one of like the scariest things to like sometimes have. So I'll just be like eating my lunch and then it will come to dinner time and I'm like, I know what this tastes like, but I don't fully taste it. Oh no, am I getting ill? And I'm like, no, Sophie, you're not. You just had the virus. Like, it happens. And, we don't know what's going to happen in the long term. Like, it's okay. You're okay. So, I'm not terribly concerned. I'm sorry if you can hear the cutting, what's it called? Like, chainsaw in the background. My dad is cutting down the hedges in front of our house right now because we are, basically they're all dead. They are all no longer living. So my dad was like, I'ma just chop all these motherfuckers down. So that's what he is doing at the moment. Yeah. He also decided to do it like from the bottom, which I mean probably works in like his mind or like in logic, but like the thing I would do is like chop, like go from the top and just like chop it down and then kind of go down so then it like doesn't fall down. I don't know. The thing is that I don't have to chop it down, so I don't think I have any reason to comment on why my dad is doing that sort of stuff. Okay. So the oldest contestant was Jung Jun-ho, and he was born on the 11th of July 2002, making him, at the time of the show, 19 years old. And he trained for 2 years and 2 months, so 26 months. And he was a former SM trainee. I think how they calculated like the training period, because training periods always confuse me. Like, I think it's like from the from when they joined the company up until like a certain point from when they're like selected to debut, because then they're no longer trainees, they're like a part of the debut team. So I don't know how kind of their like system would work. Kind of like how Chenle from NCT Dream he only had like, what was it, like a day of training before he was put into Dream. Like, was it that he joined the company on, what was it, like the 25th of August? So I think they debuted actually on my birthday. Or was it that they were training together a little bit, or like in the debut project group together, and they just like the six of them were like doing the chewing gum dance, and they were like, "Hi, this new guy, he's gonna join because we just accepted him. He's like around about your same age. He's also famous in China. Like, there you go." There's Shang, yeah, Shang Chenle. He is Chinese. Renjin be friends. Like, I just imagine that's like how it went. So I wonder kind of like how they calculate training periods. That was just a random thought that I had in my head. Kim Min So was born on the 11th of January 2003, and he trained for a little bit longer, 2 years and 8 months, and he actually lived in China for 10 years. How fun. Sidetrack, very brief sidetrack. I often got the question at school, how many times have I like moved around, because my dad's ex-military, and I never moved. Basically, my dad was able to talk to the right people. This sounds like really, really bad now that I'm thinking about it. He like managed to talk to the right people, and basically was like, I don't want to move. And so they were like, okay, you don't have to move. And so we just never did. Because my dad wanted me and my sister, to go to like this primary school that was like really, really famous for being, not famous, but like well known in our town as being the best primary school. So he wanted to send us there, and he wanted us to have a normalish life. My mum was working at the same hospital as she always has done, as she's actually currently at now, working. And so he was like, I want to make sure that my kids' lives are good. I want to make sure my wife's life's good. So if you could like sort it out so I don't have to move, that would be fantastic. So that is basically what happened. Yeah. So I wonder kind of like why he had to move, but I don't know. Oh Jun Sok was born on the 3rd of March 2003, and he trained for 3 years. And Ryu Ju Min was born less over a month later on the 5th of April, and he trained for 2 years and is also another former SM Entertainment trainee. And then we have Choi Jin Wook, born on these all are all August, not August, 2003, on the 20th of May. Then we have Bae Hyunjun on the 6th of June, Kang Da-hyun on the 15th of July, and Yang Jung-hwa on the 19th of August 2003. And they all average out for the training time to be about 2 years and 6 months. Seok Rak-woon was born on the 14th of November 2003, making him slightly younger than me. He trained for 2 years and 10 months, was a former SM Entertainment trainee, and a former child model. Jung Sung-hwan was born on the 24th of January 2004, trained for 1 year and 9 months, and I love how in his notes, like the most notable thing about him is that he was born in Busan. Like, I don't know whether or not that like says anything about that sort of feeling on him, but his notable thing was being born in Busan, but he is now a member of ATBO. Kim Yong-kyu was born on the 3rd of May 2004. He trained for 11 months under IST, but he was a former YG trainee and former contestant on YG Treasure Box that I talked about yesterday. And then we have Wonbin. Honestly, he has literally, he's my bias, by the way. He has the nicest English accent that I've heard from any K-pop idols. Literally, I respect anyone who tries to learn English because it's really, really hard. But like Wonbin's English accent is like, how? I don't understand, because he's tall, but he also has a very innocent looking face. Like his visuals is very innocent, and I don't know whether or not that's intentional from my IST or not. But hearing him speak, I was like, "You're my bias. You are my bias." And he trained for 2 years and 5 months and lived in the Philippines for over 10 years. Then lastly, we have Park Jae-hoon. He was born on the 20th of July 2005, making him 16 years old. And he trained for 5 months, and the most notable thing is that he was the youngest out of the trainees. Yeah, so I can't really talk on I really wish I could talk more about like the actual show itself. But like it would mean me having to watch all of them, and I feel like I would have probably cried if I had to do that. So we're just going to move straight on to the aftermath of the show. So on the 13th of June 2022, IST announced that Donghua wouldn't be debuting as a member of ATBO due to his past coming to light when he was a student. So yeah, can I get the Soompi article? After reading the post this is straight from IST, by the way. After reading posts regarding Yang Donghua on social media and online communities, we have received the artist's consent to contact the school officials, alumni and acquaintances to discuss the issue and confirm the facts. Along with this, we also proceeded with fact-checking procedures. Though some of the assertions turned to be different from the truth, we found that there were students who were hurt because of Yang Donghua's immature and inappropriate remarks and actions. We were able to get through to some students, and Yang Donghua offered a sincere apology to them in person. Yang Donghua is reflecting on his past actions that were unbecoming of a student, and he is deeply ashamed of how he offended people around him with his lack of consideration. Apart from the students he had the opportunity to meet with in person to apologize, he knows there may be more students who went through a hard time because of him, and he has a heavy heart thinking of them. We bow our heads and extend our apologies to those who were upset by Yang Donghua's past misconduct, as well as those who showed love for the artist. Furthermore, we have an announcement regarding the future activities of Yang Donghua. Following a fact-checking process mentioned above and an in-depth discussion with the artist, we have decided that he will no longer be joining ATBO in their debut and promotions. Through this decision, Yang Donghua intends to apologize sincerely to his fellow students for his past misconduct. Although he hasn't made his debut, Yang Donghua and his parents have expressed their desire to be reprimanded for the mistakes and will take this time to self-reflect and repent. We have gone through an in-depth discussion with Yang Donghua and his parents and will be respecting their decision regarding the issue. We know this does not make up for the past, but we hope the artist's sincerity was delivered to those he has hurt. For the artist himself, we hope this serves as a chance to look back on his past and turn over a new leaf. Yang Donghua will continue to work towards his goal, a young man with his whole life ahead of him in admitting his mistake, taking responsibility and repenting. We would more than appreciate it if you understood and encouraged him as he learns from his mistakes and grows into a mature and responsible member of society. I mean, honestly, I'm just gonna point it out here right now, just in case like anything comes to light and you're all like, what? Sophie's a lot different than we thought, because she only ever mentions like that she was hated by people. I've done bad things too, okay? Like, I'm just going to be honest. I have done some bad stuff in my past. There are people also that I could reveal right now if I wanted to, and I could probably even tell you perhaps where they even work. Because like, you know, they still live in the town that I live in. But it's been so long that like, first of all, I don't even care enough to even say what other people have done to me. And as for what I've done to others, I'm like, well, again, it's been such a long time that I don't even think any evidence would be there to even prove any of what I've done and stuff. Like, I'll admit I was an absolute shit in school, like to other people towards the end, because I was just so annoyed. And like, yeah, I mean, that gives me that doesn't give anyone the right to be mean, but you know, kids are weird. Kids are different, and they cause problems in some very specific ways. And I don't think that we necessarily should be ruining these people's lives, especially with like Donghua, because he has gone out of his way to like give the information and give like the company the chance to, you know, go out and like find the people that he potentially has hurt. Like, if they really did something bad and they didn't want it to be revealed, then he wouldn't, and it would cause this like massive problem. But because he wants to repent and he wants to kind of admit his wrongdoings, I think it is very admirable in some ways or another. Like, obviously, with something like, you know, with the situations that happened and got put into a show like The Glory, those people, you know, they very much deserve like to have high level punishments. But because it's like most of those things happen in school, and the school puts out like has the jurisdiction against these kids, like with bullying and stuff. If the school's not really done it, then there isn't really anything that we can kind of say and kind of do, I guess, in some aspects. Because like, the school had the authority to do something back then. But you know, it's kind of comparing apples and oranges, if I'm going to be honest. But nothing of what I did to other people or what was done to me was on the level of The Glory. I do just need to point that out. I did nothing like what happened on The Glory or any of the stories that are associated with that sort of stuff. Like, it was more like old school bullying, I guess, like you could call it. And kind of, I'm just going to lay it all out here. I manipulated a few people. Some people manipulated me. I was kind of that classic, I guess, if you were to say it like that, of just that that girl that looks kind but can have a very sharp tongue. I was that. That scared me. My dad is coming to the window. You want me to unlock the door? Okay. Back in a second. Oh, that's what you were telling me to do. Oh, okay. I do apologise. Yeah, I swear my dad just does the strangest things sometimes. What was I saying? Oh yeah, about my bullying thing. Um, like it's so strange because like would it even be considered bullying? But like probably. Um, like I said, I've pushed a few people into bushes and stuff like that, and you know, I some of what I did that would probably be classed as bullying, like never intentionally. And you know, if they wanted me to apologize, then yeah, I would apologize. But I feel like we were both kind of being mean to each other and like doing things against each other, despite us actually also being friends, because we were also friends, um, which was like the most toxic friendship ever. Now that I'm like thinking back on it, like even though I knew at the time it was toxic, like back when we were kids, it was very much like from at least my perspective, from that initial falling out, I knew that I had to um, like at least be civil with her. Um, in otherwise, like she had a lot of power to basically make my life a misery by saying that I was bullying her, even though like it was like one or two instances at the start that like I look back on it and I'm like, oh yeah, no, that was pretty bad of you, Sophie. It's like very much a case of hurt people, and we were constantly going in the cycle of hurting each other. And like if anything was to like if I was to become a famous podcaster, which the chances are very very slim, like this person does have the ability to kind of come out and say like, oh, Sophie did this to me in school. And yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and deny that I didn't do that stuff, because I did. And I'm just going to be honest, we were kids. And if she ever listens to this and is like, well, I want an apology, I'm like, okay, like, sure, I'll apologize to you if you apologize to me as well from all of the stuff that you've also done to me. Like, we're both kind of in the wrong here. And, you know, it's hard to definitively say whether or not bullies should get a second chance, because, you know, if they were willing to do it as kids, what are they willing to do now? And like that is an interesting point to kind of make, but you do actually never really know what else is going on in that person's lives. And obviously, I'm not defending the people who like actually cause physical harm to other people, but like I guess the only excuse, air quotes, excuse that I could give myself is that I had undiagnosed autism. I wasn't being treated for like anxiety. I had a lot of self-induced pressure on me to succeed. I was trying so hard to not appear like I really cared about these people, what these people were saying to me in school, that like I was basically self imploding all of the time. But like, you do really truly never know what is going on in other people's lives. And while that is no excuse for sending horrible texts, you know, joking about certain events in that person's life, you know, being an absolute horrible friend sometimes, there's like reasons sometimes for these kinds of actions. And I think sometimes like you need to give a little bit of grace to those people, because some like maybe they're struggling too, and they're trying to relieve some of their hurt by hurting other people. And that, while that isn't healthy, there are certainly other things that you can do to help, like maybe just kind of like, I don't know where I'm going with this. I really don't. I'm not trying to defend bullies because bullies are horrible, and I'm not trying to defend my actions because I understand that they were wrong. But if I was the CEO of a company, and if I was the CEO of IST, and I found out that Donghua was a bully in school or potentially mistreated kids in school, I would honestly like talk to the victims, or however you want to refer to them as. I'd ask them, would you feel comfortable with Donghua being in the industry? Would you feel comfortable with them carrying on and making a successful life for themselves, even with like the potential that they've created lifelong trauma for you? Like, would you feel comfortable with that sort of stuff? And if they say no, then like, yeah, sure, like you can like bye, like go do something else. But like if they're chill with it, then like just let him carry on being in the group. And just relating back to my own personal life for just a moment, two of my friends actually work in the same place, and I was offered an interview at that place, and I turned it down because I knew that if I went to work in that same place, and those my old friends found me, like it would cause so much drama that I don't think, like potential drama that I don't think I would at all be comfortable in my job there. Like the potential of the drama, of the issues that it could cause, would be too much, and I just didn't want to, like, first of all, reopen old wounds that we both have, and taint my reputation in like because we both want to pursue careers in the healthcare scene, sector, whatever you want to call it. She's actually doing it, whereas I'm not. I'm clearly not. Like, I don't want to open that can of worms. Both of them are happy with whatever they're doing, so I'm just gonna leave them to be happy with whatever they're doing. Yeah. So we need to talk about the other trainees. So on the 17th, a few days after the announcement that Donghua wouldn't be debuting with them, they announced that is it frozen? No? Wait. Are we okay? We good? Yep. It was announced that Wonbin, who was eliminated in episode 5, would be debuting with the group as a replacement for Donghua, and they debuted on the 27th of July. A couple of trainees joined different companies. Kang Da-hyun joined Urban Works before transferring to DSP and then to RBW, and he will be debuting in their more new boy group, who I believe, well, they were supposed to debut in October, but I think because they were debuting Young Posse at that time, they were kind of like, not right now. The group is it that? No, it's not that one. I had the name for it as well. That's annoying. Does it? No, it doesn't. Fortunately, it doesn't have the group name. So yeah, I don't have that one. But they are going to debut hopefully at some stage. Is everything? Yeah, everything's fine. Jung Junho and Yang Donghua joined Cube. I feel like at least Junho is in Nowadays. Is the group called Nowadays? Like that. Is it? Are they the nowadays? This is the problem. Yeah, they are nowadays. This is the problem. Is that there's so many groups to keep track of that I feel like I'm going clinically insane. Just like casually, just like a little bit. No hate, no shade to anyone who is in a mental hospital. I do hope you get all of the help that you need. It is just a joke, obviously. Unfortunately, at your expense, I do apologise. If I can actually get onto this. No, nowadays with an S. Or is it with a Z? Because they're gangster. Sorry. I have a lot of jokes. I'm jokes. Pardon me. I did have my lunch before I started filming, so probably that was a bad decision. Oh my. So just looking through the profiles for the members. Oh, so they're not. Okay, that's fine. I don't know why on earth they wouldn't have been a part of that group then. Fair enough. And they debuted on they only just debuted 12 days ago. Nice. On the 2nd of April. I can't remember sometimes these things. Do they still have them listed as trainees though, I wonder? Let's have a look. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I probably should have known that they had moved to Cube. Likelihood is that they actually were bought out from IST, because that can sometimes happen, that they that like trainees can be bought and then used for their groups. It doesn't actually say anything about notable trainees, unfortunately, so that I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. Minso and Jae-hyun joined Fantasia, and Jin Wook and Dahyun opened up personal social medias. Dahyun also participated in Fantasy Boys, and now we obviously know that Dahyun is debuting under RBW whenever they end up debuting. So that is the Origin A, B, or what. I hope you enjoyed that conversation, as well as just me randomly ranting about the fact that I might have potentially been a bully in school. I am sorry though if you do feel like you were bullied by me. It's hard. I don't really know if it really constitutes as that, more or less than like friends having arguments, but maybe. I do apologise if you feel like you were mistreated by me in school. It really was not my intention. But yeah, I think that wraps up everything for today's episode. We have so it would be the 15th when this is uploaded, so 16th, 17th, and then 18th. 18th being the Island episode. So we have two more to go. I don't know what shows I'm gonna do though, so that's fun. Those will be coming obviously on Tuesday and Wednesday. Yeah. So I do hope you enjoyed. thanks for listening, and I will talk to you guys or girls later. Bye.